Yo YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Salvation Elite. We're back with a video, guys, and today, guys, we're talking about how to practice like a pro. So there's a lot of things that go into how to practice like a pro, but at the end of the day, the two biggest things are the mentality that you go into playing with, and then the tactics that you use to get better at the game. So we're gonna be breaking down both sides of that, so hopefully we can get right into it. Let's go. So shout out to all you guys who've been sending me clips on Twitter. We'll get back to showing clips of the videos again these next few days, and I've been sorting through them, got them ready, and we're going to be loading them up. I'm excited to start some more series as well. I want to be doing like a coaching series soon too, where you guys send in clips and we go through them. So there's a lot of different things I want to be doing here soon. Definitely be on the lookout for those. I'll probably announce it on Twitter first or in the Discord, and we'll get going from there. So without further ado, let's get in the video. So before you can even talk about how you actually play as a Call of Duty player, you got to talk about the mentality that you take into each match and each practice and every night of playing the game. Definitely having a good mentality is something that sets a lot of pros apart from the average players, and what allows them to excel past any expected level is the mentality that these pros go into games with and how they go into playing Call of Duty. So you've got your certain base level right now, whether you're like an amateur, a new player, or else you're moving up the ranks. You're like a mid-tier amateur, you're a high-tier amateur, you're pushing that pro level. There's always certain tweaks that you can make to get better at the game, and a lot of that improvement can be attributed to the mentality that you take with you into the game. So, you know, pros weren't always pros. At some point, they're just like us, they were just like you. They were working hard to get better at the game and eventually reach that pro level, and their mentality was so important. So first of all, you got to go into the game with a focus on improvement. You have to go into the game really truly focusing on getting better, and I think a lot of people get lost in that pretty easily, where you go into a game and maybe right at the beginning you're thinking about getting better, or maybe you talk about it with your team, or you have a goal for yourself, but halfway through the match, by the end of the match, really the only goal is to actually win the game and not to technically improve, because the win or the loss doesn't truly reflect your personal improvement. And of course it does have an effect on the team and how you're playing as a squad, but at the end of the day, there's so much that you can do individually to improve that may not directly affect the score every game, and those harder to measure things are what you have to focus on in game and improve in match to match. So to be able to focus on improvement in game, you have to have goals, and I think it's important to have short-term goals, mid-term goals, and long-term goals. And it's pretty important, like, in all of life. This is kind of like a life thing. I definitely have these for what I'm trying to do in my life. There's a lot of different ways to break it down, but at the end of the day, when it comes to Call of Duty, you have to have some short-term goals, like to improve in certain areas. Like you want to improve your positioning on this map or in this game mode, or how you approach this hill or these nade spots. There's just a lot of different areas that you can try to improve, and that can be like a short-term goal. Then like a mid-term goal can be something along the lines of like, as a team, winning this many games, or trying to lead the team in this way, or being more comfortable on this map or in this situation. Those are more long-term, broader goals that are nice to have to direct your short-term goals. And then there's the long-term goals, which the long-term goals can be to be a full-time Call of Duty player, to play professionally, to win this tournament, to play in this league, to do this with this team. Those are like long-term goals that may take a year or longer, and that's kind of how you can break it down in your mind to give you a good direction of where you're headed. It definitely helps you focus in and tune into those small goals that you need to accomplish early on to take the steps you need to take to get to where you want to go. So of course, when it comes to that mentality, it's obviously beneficial to be as even keeled as possible. Don't get too high on the highs, don't get too low on the lows, and stay in the middle as much as possible. If you notice, a lot of COD players are pretty even keeled and even tempered. Obviously there's exceptions to every single rule. There's guys like Temp out there that are really, really talented, but just struggle to focus in and really take that next step sometimes because of his temper. And I can definitely get heated. If you guys are watching the streams ever, there's moments where I get heated. I think everyone does at some points. But what's really important to realize is the bigger picture and the long-term goals you're trying to accomplish. It can help create some good perspective and make things a lot less frustrating in the moment. So when you're getting pissed, just remember it's a long-term goal. The loss doesn't matter, and you can take steps to improve. And so like the short-term losses are necessary to achieve the long-term success. So next question obviously is, how do you actually practice? And there's a lot of different ways to go about this, and a lot of different teams do it in a lot of different ways. A lot of different players do it in a lot of different ways. But this is kind of some common themes overall throughout. So individually, when you come with that right mentality and you set your goals, the world's open to you and you can practice in a lot of different ways. So we're just gonna go through the ways and then talk about them more in depth at the end. The first one is obviously bot lobbies. You can go into a custom game, play some bot lobbies, and just work on maybe your goals to try to improve your aim or your movement or your sniping or whatever it is. You know, whatever your aim is or your shot or your movement, whatever it might be that you're trying to achieve in the bot lobbies, you can go into there and really focus on that improvement. Use that mindset and those goals that you have to go into bot lobbies and really work on improving. And so it definitely takes time. Nothing's going to be perfect overnight. As you guys know, in any other sport, just like anything else, it takes time to get better at the game. So similarly, you can go into custom lobbies and then just explore maps. And I think this helps a lot in Search and Destroy. It gives you those new lines of sight. You can watch videos online like God spots, nade spots, whatever it might be, crazy lines of sights on those maps to give you a new perspective on how to play and approach those maps and situations. And then you can think about different ways to approach bombs and how that might work. I know for me, getting better at Search and Destroy, it's been really important to just hop into custom lobbies and run around the map where I can potentially watch bomb, different lines of sight that can pick guys off. It's just overall a good idea to do. It's really helped me, and a lot of pros and pro teams do that as well. So again, another thing you can do in custom lobbies as a squad to get better as a team is to go in there and just work on your strats without opponents. This is something that I think a lot of teams need to do more of, is to go in there, work on your rotations in hardpoint, work on your seps and domination, work on your pushes in S&D, whatever it might be. I think you can definitely have a lot of improvement, and it'll help sort things out, those role problems that you're having. Where does a player need to look at these certain times? That's when it's really beneficial to run through those lobbies and just talk about those things in a custom lobby. So individually, it's just important to play the game a lot. And then as a team, you need to play competitively as much as possible to give your guys those reps, to put you in different situations and allow you to react in different ways. So for those of you who are new around here, that'd be like your team, you find another team to play against and you just play in a custom lobby against those guys. Keep playing on different maps, trying different things, and working it out against each other as teams. Another way that a lot of pros improve is by playing 10s, which is basically just a custom lobby. 10 people all get into a custom lobby together. You pick teams and you play it out with different teammates. And this allows you individually to try a lot of different roles, to play a lot of different ways because you're playing with different teammates. It really makes you a well-rounded player by playing in 10s, and of course you can make it more competitive. You can put some money on the line, play some money 10s, and a lot of pros love doing that. It puts them in different situations. You play with different teammates, you work on different types of communication. You're able to exchange different ideas with players and try different pushes that you might not try otherwise, different hill breaks, things like that. That's really an effective way to round out your game and learn a lot of different perspectives at once by playing in 10s lobbies. So obviously at the end of the day, just playing COD is the most important thing to improve. It's obvious, but it's just true. You got to play COD to get better at the game. And I think a lot of people expect the work to just happen by itself. It doesn't. You got to hop into the game and play. Obviously, watching the pros play is really important to improve. And pros watch pros. The pros, when they're not playing, they're watching scrims, they're watching COD, they're looking for strats that other teams are using that they might be able to incorporate into their strats. Personally, watching the pros is probably the easiest way for me to improve without having to play the game that much. It helps build mental processing, and it really does help you think more like the pros just by watching them. So with that said, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the video. We're trying to go in here and hopefully it helps you guys improve at Call of Duty. If it does, let me know on Twitter. Let me know in the comments below. If you guys have any other thoughts, drop them down below. And let me know what you guys think about Call of Duty and Modern Warfare at this point in the year as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And then, of course, how you're trying to improve in this game. So with that said, guys, as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if you guys really enjoy it. I really do appreciate all the likes, the comments, the shares, whatever it is, the interaction as a whole really does mean a lot to me, as I always say. But as always, guys, I'm your boy, Sylvacious Elite, and we'll see you next time.